Welcome back to We Care a Lot. I'm half the pod, Sam.
I'm the other half, Mel.
Hey guys. Today we are back with another episode, and as you know, we're doing a month of love. So this one came together rather quickly. But we were inspired to do an episode on infatuation or love because, you know, the love letters we just read from the memory box purging, if you have not watched that, please go watch it because it's amazing. But it just inspired us to be like, were we in love at the time?
It was probably infatuation.
Right. And I find some of us are still getting maybe a little bit lost in the infatuation aspect of it all, which, like, I do think infatuation does start with like a health, or like any long-term relationship does start with a healthy dose.
Right.
Of infatuation. You're like, you know, you want to be with that person. You really like them. They're interesting. Whatever. But you're still like, the feet are on the ground. You're like, but I realize that this may not work out. But I do like them. Or whatever it is. Just a disclaimer, I guess. Just nobody get crazy if they're like, I was in love at first and it was amazing and then we're together now. Good for you.
I feel like any good relationship will start with infatuation, but it should not continue to just stay in infatuation mode.
Right.
You know, there's a level of like depth that needs to happen in real life to settle in a little and like you to be committed.
I just can't imagine real mature love sitting in this like world of infatuation. Like, how do you exist? Like, when something real happens, what happens to you guys? Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, we have to go to, God forbid, a funeral or like whatever. It's like, no, shit's getting real. Like,
yeah,
I can't just be like, you're so hot. Like, it doesn't work like that. So hopefully this is like helpful for you to decipher whether you're feeling the feelings of infatuation, or if maybe you've moved on to the love phase, or maybe you're realizing the infatuation's lasting just a little bit too long and not going anywhere.
Wherever you are in that range, we're here to give you some insight on the differences, and maybe if you want to continue to move on with this person and get deeper, what are the things that are missing? So just to start off, the difference between being in love and infatuation, I feel like one of the bigger pieces is having a devotion for someone is saying that you are in love, that you like love them, or you're in love with them, where like the commitment piece is really solid there. And infatuation is more based on emotional feelings. So it's the very much the, but daddy, I love him situation, you know, like giving these like euphoric too much feelings, like that's not always good. It's actually not good, in my opinion, which is, I feel like, why Euphoria is called Euphoria, because the whole show is like an infatuation fuckfest. Like, everyone's just infatuated with something.
Doing things that are short-lived.
Yeah.
Euphoria.
And I mean, they're children in that show, technically. So it's like, it makes sense. We're all, in our teenage years, very much all about infatuation because that's all we really know.
That's so crazy. It's a lot of faking it, to be honest.
It's like faking that the love is real, because right. you're trying to be like grown. And it's, I didn't understand it then when like people would laugh at like younger kids and being like, you're not in love, like shut up. But I'm like, you don't know what they're feeling. But like, I mean, I still say that like those feelings felt really crazy and real, but at the same time, come on. Be fucking for real.
But just now that we know, with the knowledge of knowing how
it all like transpires,
dramatic it was. Damn, we're gonna be those people now. Now we've grown up. I don't like that.
I don't like it. But
we're like, oh honey,
it's okay.
You'll get over it.
Get over it.
And it's like, shut up. It's the end of the world right now.
Yeah, it's too much. So if you're having, I remember specifically, this is so stupid. It was in my time of fucking infatuation, let me tell you. But I was obsessed with this person, and I remember going to a coffee shop. It was like one of the first kind that would like in like the latte art was like,
Oh,
you
the
could
printer?
make it anything. Yeah, it was a printer. And they're like, what do you want to do on it? And I was like, can you just write euphoria
You are
or euphoric or something like that? And I remember
They're
sending,
like, sure.
and then they like printed it on my latte, and I sent a picture of like to the person that I was thinking about, and I was like, this is what you make me feel.
Literally infatuated.
Literally insane, you know?
But that's not to say that, like, it couldn't have ended in a good relationship. It's just
Yeah,
that it was definitely the infatuation, period.
Yeah. Oh, we should have probably been in the devotion stage, but we were definitely not.
Right. Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And you know what? That is a good point. Thinking about, like, my first boyfriend, something he did that I thought was thoughtful at the time, I think it was, like, napkin set or something. Like, a matching napkin and wine glass or something at Home Goods or whatever. And it said something like, my wife, I don't know, whatever it said. And he said, this made me think of you. And I'm like, oh, so he wants to get married.
So we're getting married.
Oh, so you're proposing. Like, genuinely, that, like, might have been one of the moments where I was like, oh, he sees a future.
I'm it for
but
him.
It's giving infatuation. Yeah. It's giving...
It's, like, these, like, so, like, larger-than-life feelings.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
It's like playing house.
Yeah, you're playing house. You're, like, so excited to play house. Like,
yeah.
That's the part.
We're playing house for way too long.
Way too long.
Way too long.
And the next thing, love versus infatuation. Love accepts imperfections, and infatuation only sees perfection in a person. That speaks so fucking loud.
We ignore the red flags.
Ignoring the red flags. Ignoring... Like, I think it's just, like, when you're obsessed with somebody in that way, like, nothing can go wrong. Or, like, even if you see some bad things, it's, like, they're overridden by all the good, you know?
It's, like, but it was one time. And he was honest. It's the he was honest for me. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the, I tried to get closure, and he was so apologetic. And so I did it again.
Right. At that point, infatuation, long gone.
Long gone, girl. You should be moving forward. But, you know, here we were in these circumstances. But yeah, I think even saying, like, love is about accepting the imperfections is a little bit, like, it's a little cynical. I gotta say. I mean, I agree, but, like, it's a little cynical for some people.
Like, depending on the imperfection? Like, come on. There's some things people can work on.
That's true.
Depends.
Yeah. But
generalization.
I feel like it's more so like knowing that people have something to work on. You know, like it's not necessarily like accepting just the imperfections, right. But like understanding that this person isn't perfect and like, but also I'm not saying just see the potential, girl.
The potential is never in the room. Let me tell you.
Nor.
Never in the room.
But I am saying like seeing the person for who they are and being like, okay, they have these things going on. Something for them to work on, and being very like real about it.
Yeah, realistic.
I don't know.
I think that's like the hardest part when you put it into practice, because it's like you can't like objectify or quantify like what that actually means. Like it's so situational. Like the person will, oh, they didn't going back to orange peel, which we're gonna talk about in the next episode, but like they didn't peel my orange when they brought it to me. It's like, it's over. Like, you can't jump to those generalizations, but at the same time, it's like, some things, obviously not the orange scenario, but like, some things it's like, okay, well, maybe that is like a do that again, yeah. It's a deal breaker or whatever. Yeah. That's a rough one.
It's a rough one. Love is to be in the feelings of security and confidence, versus infatuation is feelings of uncertainty and insecurity.
Which is kind of exciting, and that's why it's at the beginning of any good relationship.
Yeah, so, like,
uncertainty of the unknown
is, like, fun. It's, like, I don't really know that person. I'm so excited to get to know them.
Yeah.
And, again, I'm not trying to say that infatuation is a bad thing. It's just if it lingers too fucking long, that's when you're in muddy waters.
Yeah.
You're getting a little bit stuck in the quicksand. But, yeah, I feel like the uncertainty can be fun. When it becomes insecurity, though, that's the part. I can think back to so many more moments where I was like, I understand now that it was infatuation, because I felt like uncertain about the person, which like And then they made me feel uncertain about the fact that, like, we should even be together, or, like, I felt sure, but they didn't. And so it's like, then it becomes like, I'm insecure because I don't know what I'm not enough, like, what, if I'm enough for this person.
Yeah.
Because
and
of
in
X,
what
Y, and Z.
aspects
And
then you want to change.
Exactly. And then
like
that's the infatuation.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, obviously, the love part of it is feeling secure in who you are, the person making you feel like you are enough as you come,
and confident in your relationship, like,
yeah,
this is going somewhere, or I'm not being led astray. Like, we are moving towards something together, versus like, I want something with you, you're not being direct, I'm insecure about who I am, I'm insecure about the relationship too, not just like me.
Yeah.
Like, I think back to like me, my friends, everyone like going through relationships like that, and it's like, why are we putting up with that? It's literally just, it's in our fucking DNA or something, that like, we will just do that for X amount of time till we won't.
I just think it really is like the uncertainty piece that like feels so fun and like exciting.
I mean,
it's
it is
addicting,
exciting.
you know, and like the moment that,
well, I guess it's like, here's like a personal example. Like, I'm bored right now.
okay,
Like, personally, I'm bored.
right,
Like, no excitement. Like, I want to stir up some drama. Like,
yeah.
I want to comment on an ex. I won't even call him an ex, but like some guy I dated, he posted a new girl. I'm like, I want to stir up some drama and comment on the post. But I would never, because it's so stupid. Like, why am I gonna do that to him?
But you're itching.
And this new girl, but I'm itching for some fucking drama in my life.
It's like
everything's just going so solid, straight line.
It's like I'm a little bit
stagnant.
And that's
in the love
listen,
aspect.
That's the infatuation part of like feeling the high highs and the low lows.
Yeah.
It's so addicting because you're just like, they make you feel so great about everything that's going on, and then all of a sudden it's uncertain, and then they fucking put you to the ground and you're like, oh my god, that's awful, but then they bring you back up and you're like, oh my god,
that bitch.
I am that bitch,
yeah.
and I can always make it back up. But girl, how many times are you gonna do the loop-de-loop up and down? Like,
honestly, I feel like I've like never done the loop-de-loop. Like, I've not.
Good for you.
I mean, maybe like in a relationship, right? Like, we can admit that there's lots of loop-de-loops in the relationships. But like with someone I've just like dated.
Good for you.
No, because I'm
giving secure.
It's giving like some guy Snapchats me like every quarter essentially, and I'm like, you literally sent this to your whole roster, and I've never met you. Like,
yeah.
Leave me alone. So, anyways, but just like giving, I get the infatuation.
Just get an OnlyFans, dude. Make some money.
Make some money off of these photos. But yeah, I see like the appeal to infatuation and like why people run back to that person that they're infatuated with.
It's hard.
They're giving nothing, but giving just enough.
It's they give you nothing and then they give you everything, but then take it away as quick as it can.
Me with the guy that gave me money. On accident. I'm like, come on, do you want to come back into my life really quickly?
Just for a little bit.
No, actually I would not.
No. But yeah, infatuation's like a fucking, it's like a drug, dude. And I think that's also like a huge, not that I ever want to be infatuated with any of those people again, but like I think that's a big piece of my nostalgia, is like having those
intense feelings.
Yeah, it's like the nostalgia of being a teenager is the fact that like it's okay to be that reckless with your emotions, and with your mental state,
and like really in a lot of pain, but
but it's like
Lana Del Rey beautiful,
but it's like for the plot,
exactly.
You know?
That's, I mean, Alex Cooper talks about it a lot on her little podcast.
Little podcast, Miss Spotify.
We're on We Care a Lot over here in her little podcast.
Alex Cooper, if you want to have us on, or come on to this little podcast, please do.
Shout us out. Anyways, on her podcast she was talking about like your 20s and just being fucking reckless, and you're in like the fuckboy phase. I'm like, that's so relatable. Like, I feel a lot less not regret, because I'll never regret anything, but like, I don't, a different word for regret, but like basically regret for those years of like giving men and people attention they didn't deserve, or like toxicity like coming out of me, like being that girl. And I'm like, but whatever, like,
it was part of the fucking like journey.
Yeah,
it is like, what it is.
Being 20 years old and your first boyfriend or second boyfriend or whatever the fucking case, and I was infatuated.
Infatuation was heavy.
It was, and I kind of miss it, but that's what I'm saying. For the plot.
I'm telling you, for the plot.
Like, the dating apps, sometimes I really would just want to, like, shuffle through some of the people that have liked me, and then I hit one really, like, semi-decent dude, and I'm like, I can't say yes or no, so I'm gonna just leave the app.
I think that's why it's so fun, like, me and Logan love to flip through your people.
Dating app, yeah.
It's just fun, because it's like, I can do it, but, like, I'm not doing it, you know what I mean? Like, you can judge the people, you can be, like, quickly, like, obsessed, or whatever. It's fun. That's the part but then the minute that
then you gotta, like, have a conversation, you're like, stop talking to me. But that's the problem with dating apps.
Yeah.
And we're part of the problem, but but we will be talking about dating app bios in a future episode. So stay tuned.
Okay, so moving on. Another difference between love and infatuation is love is having meaningful connections. Duh. Infatuation is just having, like, this attraction and, like, this surface level connection. So, like, things.
Like, oh my god, we both love the movie Elf. It's like, bitch, everybody loves that movie.
Everybody loves Elf. But I even think back to, like, my own infatuations of, like, me and this other person were movie buffs. Like, okay.
You'll never find that again.
I'll never find that again, I guess.
There's a whole app of them.
Or fair. Like, you know, like, things like that. Or, like, for a big thing for me, so fucking, like, vain in a way. I was just like, I only date, like, creatives. Like, I only want to be, like, a cool girl.
Like, honestly, if he doesn't, like, thinking about me all the time in a really deep and sensitive way.
Right, because I thought that was deep.
But they weren't thinking about you in that way.
They literally weren't. They were cheating on me. So, tell me who's right about that.
That worked out.
But also, like, even the attraction, like, I think back to, like, all of my relations, not all, but, like, I mean, yeah. A lot of my no, the last one, never mind. Go back, Mel. The infatuation one, like, I think back on how a lot of our relationship was so physical all the time that, like, whether or not that I don't even want to say that. Never mind. I just feel like it was just infatuation because it was just so, like, physically.
You guys didn't care about each other's thoughts, feelings.
I mean, I did.
Well, okay, right.
And that's, like, the thing that I wanted.
That's why you guys never got past infatuation.
Right, but the infatuation was heavy for him, I think, on me. And, like, that's because, like, that's why it stayed there. The infatuation, it was just infatuation.
And I mean, infatuation never moves to the love stage.
No.
Not necessarily because of both parties' fault, unless you keep entertaining it, right? Like, situationships. I guess this is kind of like situationship territory. Like, y'all are just infatuated with each other, not compatible. Y'all are just together because you think each other is cute.
Yeah.
And the idea is fun.
The idea is fun. Infatuation.
The idea has been fun. I gotta say. Pretending, like, even just, like, when you know that's not, like, your forever person, but being like, can you imagine, like, when we get married and, like, this will be this and that'll be that and, like, what? Just, like, jumping to the fucking gun for no reason is fun. Not gonna lie.
The idea
and
is
then
fun.
If it gets there, it gets there. But the problem is when you realize it's not gonna get there. And you're like, oh, but maybe it will, but maybe it will, but maybe it will.
But maybe it won't.
Why didn't my family ever tell me? I would tell them. He doesn't want to get married till he's, like, 30. We started dating when I was 15.
I think maybe they had that. I mean, I don't know, because your parents have a very specific love story. So
yeah, but, like,
maybe they
15 years before they fucking married me.
That's true.
15 years.
But
y'all.
what I'm saying, because I was gonna say, like, maybe they had a very realistic, like, standpoint of, like
logical.
They're gonna be, like, 20 years old soon. They have no idea what they have in store. So, you know, if they make it through, they fucking make it through. Not to say that your parents were probably, like, thinking that, but, like, maybe.
Well, I mean, probably. As parents, I don't even blame them.
Yeah, but I also think, like, maybe not because they have such a specific, like, love story that was very young and...
Maybe.
You know. So, I don't know. It could be, like, because they had a mixture of two, they're like, I have no idea. Go get it, girl.
God, the layer of parents. The layer of parents and watching your kids be infatuated? Oh, absolutely. How do you...
I just got, like... literally shivers down my spine. That is awful.
Shiver me timbers.
Shiver me timbers. That was scary. I can't. I will probably be crying on the floor, in the bathroom floor with them. You know? That infatuation is you crying on the bathroom floor.
Yeah.
Pretending you're in a movie. Me.
You're gonna be you're gonna be reliving your life through your children.
Yeah.
Crying on the bathroom floor with them.
Yeah. They'll probably won't let me in, but I'll be on the outside like this. Crying.
No, you won't. You'll be in your room. They won't know.
They won't know.
Honestly, though, that layer.
But hopefully that's not them, because I just felt alone, so I had to do that. But maybe also like I'm also dramatic.
But that's part of it.
I'm also dramatic, and I wanted to probably do that.
Yeah, you live for.
I
You're
saw
like,
the
I'm in a
movies
movie,
and I was like, I need to be the main character.
I am not speaking to anyone about this because I need to be.
I need to have that scene in the movie where she's by herself.
No, actually, I had those thoughts.
So funny. Okay, love is lasting. Duh. Right? We all fucking know.
Right.
And infatuation is just like a temporary fixing feeling. Like, I think it just, for me, just comes down to like a commitment piece. Like, I feel like love is obviously, I feel like we said this before, but like love is a commitment. It's not necessarily a feeling. It goes back to the first thing we said of emotion. Like, it's a statement and a dedication made to somebody regardless of circumstance, versus infatuation is very much circumstance based and temporary based on whatever the hell you're going through and things that are happening.
Or you live 5 minutes from me and it's convenient.
Right.
Or whatever.
Or that. So it's very much self-explanatory.
What are you guys doing out in the world? I'm like, I'm alone on Friday nights, most nights, okay? Like, what is everyone doing? Are you guys hanging out with situationship, bad for you people? Is that what it's like to live alone? You just make bad decisions?
Maybe. Or I don't know, go out with the girlies. I'm telling you, I said this the last time we recorded like together. I will go out with you bitches.
We don't even go out.
But I'll just go home after once you find somebody.
Okay, 2 things. 1, we don't go out. 2, we don't find no bitches to go out with. Like, no, there's nobody to go home with anyway.
Oh, I thought you were saying no girlies.
No bitches and no bitches.
Bitches
and no bitches. Like, I'm using them the same. But like, I'm telling you, this is crazy. Going to Eugene,
the thing,
plentiful cute men at the airport.
There is plentiful cute people out there. I think y'all need to be bold.
But I'm not seeing them. I want to be infatuated with somebody.
Okay, Sam, with you it's very specific because
telling me
you see them on a screen and you're like, they're so fucking cute. Or yeah, no, okay, no.
Like who? Like Jacob Elordi I see on a screen, or like on Hinge I see him on a screen?
Like Hinge.
Oh, okay.
You'll go, they're really cute, and then in person you're like, they're not that cute. Or vice versa, they're like really cute in person, but you have this like screen image of somebody else in your mind, right? That it's like, does it mean that this person isn't cute? But you're like, he's like a 7, but like then you put him on fucking TV, he'll probably be a 10, or vice versa. I'm saying that so wrong.
I understand what you're saying. Though. A guy on TV I would think is hotter than someone I met because he was on TV, which is so bad. But like, mostly because on TV, like we're talking Love Island, like I see their personality. Like Bergie, okay? If I were to meet Bergie on the street,
you would definitely not.
I would not. I'm like, oh, he's a cute guy. He was really sweet. But then if I saw him on the show and then met him in real life, which could still happen. I'm just kidding. I don't want to date Bergie. But I think he's such a little angel. Such a sweet man. Can't lie to save his life, which I love. I need me a man that I can't lie.
Well, just think about it that way. Like, I will get to know this person. If there's an
But think about the wedding photos.
If there's an ounce of attraction, you can get them. There's a fix for everything, girl. There's hair plugs. There's veneers.
Listen, I'm not trying to change nobody. I just, why does everyone else get to be with someone they're insanely attracted to, but I gotta settle? What's that?
I didn't say you did.
Then but period. The guy also, I like will be attractive. That's it.
But
that's
also,
what?
The attraction that you had for these other men in your life.
Right.
Was from not the looks, girl. So.
At first it was. At first glance, it was. Give me high school.
Okay.
High school's different. Basketball, football.
Fair, I give it to you.
Tall, dark, and handsome.
I'll give it to you.
It just
he was the best of the pot.
Well, that's a stretch, but.
He was at least in the top 10.
He was a top 10. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So, fair enough. But see, even then, you knew status. You knew.
Was I calculating it at the time, though? I think I just thought he was cute, and I knew other girls thought he was cute.
Exactly. That's status. That is brownie points.
Well...
But we're not, like, consciously thinking of it, but
yeah,
subconsciously, those things add up.
See, but, like, I feel like this is not even the topic, but, like...
We're still speaking towards infatuation or love.
Okay.
You know, figuring it out.
I feel like I don't date for, like, status or looks at this point. I'm, like, looking for a nice guy. But then also with apps, like, the problem is that that's the foot in the door. Yeah, what you look like.
Status and looks.
So that's why when I come across a guy on a dating app, this is my problem. I stack up the likes on Hinge because you get, like, likes or whatever. And then I go through and, like, there's some obvious no's, right? Yeah. And you're like, easy, done. And then you come across someone that's like, okay, like, let me read their profile a little bit.
Okay.
And if there's nothing, you're like, bye. Like, you're not even giving a second thought to this. But then if there's someone that's, like, kind of cute, his personality's kind of giving, I'm at a point where I'm, like, maybe not scared. Scared's probably not the right word, but, like, less willing to put myself out there on a dating app because it is so much fucking work. Like, it is like explaining your life story to someone online that you've never met multiple times, which I now get why when I would match with, like, 28-year-olds when I was 21, or not 21, 24 or whatever, would be like, let's go on a first date, like, immediately. I'm like, I get it now. Like, yeah, because you're not trying to waste,
dude. Because if they don't want to do that, then what?
Right.
But as 24-year-old you're like,
I can waste my time in, like, chit chat.
Men are scary, like,
yes,
which they are, but, like, you know. So I don't know. And needless to say, you just gotta go up there and go up to the person.
Listen, the last guy I went up to was rude. Actually, the two most memorable moments of me going up to a man, they were fucking rude to me.
One was like Keanu
Reeves looking man was cool, but rude. And then at the Matador in Fullerton, which was just like, honestly, he dodged me a bullet there because I could just imagine he would have been just like my ex-boyfriend. And
probably.
We saved ourselves on that one, but
yeah. Well,
infatuation though. That period is fun as a single person, and even in a relationship, you're saying that was fun, and like you kind of.
Infatuation is fun. Like, I even think about the beginnings of me and Logan.
I'm like, how can you fake it again?
The infatuation is so fucking fun. I mean,
I guess that's role playing, isn't it?
It is role playing.
That's where it comes back in. Wow.
I'm like, I'm too nervous.
Growing up. No, but literally knowing someone and doing role play is so scary.
It's weird. It's acting. It's you.
This should be great for you. Oh my god. I have an idea.
Way.
Tonight we're going out and it's going to be you and me, and we're going to pretend we run into Logan and you guys are going to fall in love. And I'll be like, you guys can go home without me.
Meanwhile, you just sleep in the spare bedroom.
And I get in the car with you. I'm like, pretend I'm not here.
Fun though.
I'm just saying, could be funny.
I'm like, yeah, can we go back to your place?
Like, just at the bar, ordering drinks. They're talking. My friend, put it on her tab. She said it. She's talking to that girl. Put it on her tab.
I'm dead. I could just picture us immediately, like, at the end of the night, can we go back to your place? And then we're like, how many bedrooms do you have?
She'd be like, wow, you assume I have a house. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You just look like you have it together.
Wow.
Anyway.
I don't know how we got to roleplay, but we did.
Get your infatuation on, I guess. Or don't, honestly.
I mean,
it's fun for what it is.
Yeah.
And then don't take it further than that.
Yeah. Don't go any further than the infatuation.
We're too old for it.
But roleplay.
But roleplay is okay.
Oh my god.
That's it for this episode. This was fucking ridiculous. This is so funny.
Oh, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. As always, give us a like or follow or rating. Super appreciate it. We're almost at 10K downloads, which is amazing.
Get us up there, please.
Yes, we're very excited, and we're growing on YouTube, which is... Okay, we see you, YouTube baddies, but anyways, just expressing our gratefulness for you guys. But we'll see you guys next week. Well, actually in Glowing Hour. We'll see you in Glowing Hour.